Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Peter K here, your finance PT, and I'm back with another video. Now today I want to speak about this popular concept, which is what's for you will not miss you. Essentially, what's for you will not pass you by. Now, I completely disagree with it. You know, when you first hear the saying, it sounds really true. You're like, yeah, you know what's for me will not miss me. However, it's not true. It's a lie. And I will be going through the reasons why I think that. Now, if you agree with this saying, do let me know in the comments and share your reasons why. I want to know why you believe this saying is true. But I personally, when I really thought about it, I beg to differ, and I will show you why. So my first reason for this is, if you are passive, what could have potentially been for you, it will pass you by. There are so many people that are talented, that have amazing ideas, that they want to do amazing things, but they never do anything about it. Now, if you have a great idea and you're sitting on that idea, you have to bear in mind that other people are also actively seeking and looking for these ideas and opportunities. And if someone else has a similar idea to you and they actually take the idea and make something of it, what was potentially for you, being that you had the idea, has passed you by because you were passive, because you didn't take action. And I think a lot of the times we attract and we really connect with these sayings because it makes us feel better. It makes us feel like, you know what, yeah, what is for me, you know, it won't pass me by, and it gives us that sense of comfort. However, when you really think about it, it encourages you to be passive, because if you have this mindset, you're always going to think that anything that never worked out or anything that you never went for was just never for you in the first place, which is not true. There are so many people that are in jobs, in careers, in relationships that they don't want to be in, but they're in it simply because they're too afraid to face their fears and actually try something different, or they're too afraid to actually assume the decisions that they want to make because of whatever reason. There are so many different reasons why we can be afraid, right? That could be a whole nother video. Now, the next reason, what's meant for you will pass you by if you are complacent. So very similar to if you're passive. If you are just comfortable with where you are right now, what could be for you could pass you by. Let's say right now you're single and you want to get into a relationship, but you're very complacent. You're just kind of like, you know, you make no conscious effort to get to know anyone, or you have this long list, a very unrealistic list of expectations of what your partner is going to be like, what they need to look like, where they need to be from, how much money they need to make, where they need to live, and how they need to treat you. Sometimes when we have these lists, they're very unrealistic. Now, I'm a list person, right? And I like to have my list, and I think it's very important to have expectations and to know what you want. However, I do feel that sometimes, especially as women, I can only speak as a woman because I am a woman, is that sometimes we're very unrealistic and we demand things that we aren't ourselves. You might be saying to yourself, oh, I want a man who's financially stable, but maybe right now you're not financially stable, but you're demanding something that you don't even have yourself. So I think it's very important when you have lists to really compare whether you have these things that you're demanding from your potential future partner. But like I said, if you're complacent, if you're not actually doing anything about what you want, you're not going to see the changes. It's like if you say you want a career change, but you're not actually applying for jobs. What is for you is going to pass you by because you have other people that right now, they're like, oh my gosh, I need to look for this job. If I don't do it right now, I'm never going to leave. Because I know of people that are in jobs right now that they hate, but they're too afraid to leave because of the pandemic, because of that fear of what if I find a new job and then they need to let people go and then I'm the first one to go, you know. So there's all these reasons that keep us complacent, that keeps us stuck in situations that we don't want to be in. And again, like I said, maybe that job that was potentially for you, you're not going to get the job if you never apply. But again, when you hold on to these sayings, it makes you feel better about yourself. It makes you think, oh, you know, it's okay. I know I didn't go for it, but yeah, it wasn't for me anyway. How would you know if it wasn't for you if you didn't apply? Next one. Now, the next reason is insecurities. Now, we all have insecurities. We all have things about ourselves physically that we don't like, that makes us cringe. Like sometimes when I'm editing my podcast and I listen back to my voice, I'm like, this is weird. But again, the problem is not necessarily having an insecurities. This is normal, this is natural. We all have insecurities. And I think it's important to work consciously on accepting yourself, especially the things you can't change. Now, of course, if you have insecurities about things you can work on, for example, such as your weight or the way you dress, or maybe the way that you speak or your grammar, I don't know, all of these things are things that you can consciously work on. But things that you can't change or it's going to require going under the knife, I personally believe it's important to accept, learn to love those things. And it's funny because sometimes the things you hate most about yourself, other people like those things. It's so funny and it's so strange, but it's just one of those things. Learn to appreciate and love yourself. Honestly, there is so much waiting in loving yourself. There's so much power that it gives you when you truly have a deep love for yourself. If right now you struggle with insecurities, this could be one of the things that's holding you back. There are so many people that there are things that are for them. There are things that are for you. But again, because of your insecurities, you allow them to hold you back. Maybe you want to start that YouTube channel. Like right now, guys, I don't have a lot of subscribers. I have just over like 75 or 76. And again, sometimes I post a video and there's not as many views as I want. I want to see the thousands of views and it's not there yet. And I'm not going to lie, there's times I'm like, oh, is there even a point of me recording another video? But I will. As long as there's more than one view, I'm gonna keep doing it because I'm not gonna allow my insecurity or failure to hold me back. No, I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep going for what I want. And honestly, guys, it's so important. You have to push yourself. If you allow your insecurities to hold you back, what is for you is gonna pass you by. And someone else that is more assured of themselves, they're gonna take control and they're gonna seize that opportunity of that thing that could have been yours. There are many people right now that you're single, and what I'm gonna say, it might cut a few hearts, but I'm all about being real and being transparent. There are many people that right now are single that they could have potentially been in a healthy and happy relationship with someone that they just didn't, maybe you didn't pay them their mind. Maybe you thought, you know, he's not my type or she's not my type, and you thought you were better than the person, and then someone else snatched them up. And now you're looking back and you see that person, they're glowed up now, and you're like, oh my gosh, I could have actually been with that person. It actually could have worked. We were compatible. But now it's too late. So again, what will pass you by? It will swiftly pass you by if you allow your insecurities to hold you back. So if you recognize that, you know what, you have insecurities, because like I said, we all have them. The problem is when you allow these insecurities to hold you back, to stop you from going for what you want. One of the things that really pushes me, people always ask me what keeps you motivated. What keeps me motivated is regret. I don't want to have regret. For me, regret is one of the worst things you can have. Because again, you just have those thoughts haunting you, but there's nothing you can do about it. You can't go back and change something that you regret. All you can do is move forward from it. So for me, if I have an idea, if there's something that I want, as difficult as it is, best believe I'm going to push myself to work towards that thing, because the pain of regret is one that I do not want to have. So honestly, so recapping, so what will pass you by? What is for you will pass you by if you are passive, if you are complacent, if you allow your insecurities to hold you back. And the next one is super important. People allow what's for them to pass them by is because they don't conduct themselves well. You have to understand that in this life, there are certain things we just have to accept. And one of those things is that looks do matter. Our appearance, how we carry ourselves. Now, I'm not saying you need to look like you're in a magazine, because I do not look like someone that's in a magazine. However, you have to put your best foot forward. You have to present yourself in the best possible way. And that's not just about how you look, but it's how you conduct yourself, how you speak to people. These things are key, and people take note of those things. Let's say, for example, you turn up for an interview, you're late, you come, you have BO, you know, you're wearing shoes that are inappropriate. I remember once I interviewed someone for I think it was a dental nursing role. This person came to the interview in flip-flops. Now, I know it was summer, but honestly, wearing flip-flops to an interview in an establishment that is supposed to be professional, I personally don't think that's the way of putting your best foot forward. And I won't even get into whether the person was successful or not. But my point, like I'm saying, is that you have to put your best foot forward. You have to ensure that the environments that you are putting yourself in, you are, what's the word? You are, brain freeze. And I'm not even gonna edit this out. But yeah, you have to make sure that you are appropriate. Yes, that you are appropriate for the setting you are in. So let me repeat that. So you have to ensure that the settings you are putting yourself in, you are appropriate for that situation. If you're going on a job interview, you can't be going to a job interview with ripped jeans and flip-flops. Like, it's not appropriate for the situation. Now, if you're going to like a casual interview from maybe like working in a clothes store and that is appropriate for that situation, that's different. But you have to ensure you're putting your best foot forward, because like I said, what could have been yours will pass you by to the person that was dressed for the occasion. And when I say dressed, I don't just mean physical appearance in terms of your clothes, but also the way that that person carries themselves. So you have to ensure that you are aligning yourself in a way that's going to put you forward, your best foot forward, and not lying and pretend to be someone you're not, but really ensuring that you're honing in on your skills, on the things that you're good at, and you're showing to these interviewers or whatever setting you are in, you are showing that you are capable of that. And that's why it's important for you to believe in yourself as well. That's why it's important for you to know your skills, for you to know your strengths and your weaknesses. Because if you don't know, if you are only able to identify your weaknesses and you don't know your strengths, you're never going to get where you want to get in life. You have to know and understand what your strengths are, where they lie, and really expand on those things. And the things that you recognize that, you know what, I'm not very good at this. Maybe right now your weakness is you're always late. Work on it. Work on being punctual, because you don't want being late for things to ruin opportunities for you. You don't want to give yourself a bad name. You want to make sure that you're building a good reputation. So that is very important. And the next point as well, a lot of people, what is for them, what is potentially for them, because I think everything is all about potential. We all have free will and we have the power to make our own decisions. So again, sometimes what's for you passes you by because you have a limited mindset. There are so many people that the thing holding them back most is not even people, it's not their race, it's not where they're from, it's not how much money they have. No, it is their mind. If you are stuck in your mind, if you're a prisoner in your mind, your actions are going to be aligned with that. If you still have a limited mentality, you're not going to get very far. Your life is only as big as your vision. And I will say that again, your life is only as big as your vision. And again, it's like what you think, that's what you're going to act on. If you think you can only achieve so much, that's exactly what you're going to achieve. But if in your mind you think, I can do more, I can do better, I can go further, you're going to push yourself. Naturally, you're going to have the motivation, and not just the motivation, but the drive in general to go for that. And I think sometimes we rely too much on our feelings. We rely too much on being motivated. Do I feel motivated every day? No, I don't. But for me, I think about, do I need to get this done? The answer is yes. I'm gonna need to push myself to do it. I don't always do it, and there are times when I'm not as productive as I'd like to be, but 9 times out of 10, I get things done because I have this vision in my mind and it pushes me. It's like I'm obsessed with this vision so much that I have to challenge myself. Because like I said to you, for me, the pain of regret is a pain I do not want to experience. Do you know what I mean? So it's important for you to ensure that you're really thinking, is my mindset, is the way that I'm thinking really propelling me forward to the success that I want? And also, guys, if you see in the background, the birthday, it was my birthday on Saturday. So I thought I would just, keep it there and just utilize a little background. And a few more points before I wrap up. Now, the next one is if you give up easily. One thing I want to wrap up with saying is quit quitting. Sometimes what's for you misses you because you gave up too easy. You shouldn't quit every time a problem comes or something arises. A lot of the times where there's a crisis, there's an opportunity for growth. And I'm sure if you think back in your mind to opportunities where you have grown and moments in times where you achieve things you never thought you would, I'm sure even in the midst of those things, there was a difficulty. So a lot of us, we give up so quick. As soon as things get difficult, we think, oh, forget it, I can't do it, it's not for me, or maybe it's just not for me. That's why things aren't working out. I remember when I was looking for a career change, I was seeking one for over a year, nothing was happening. And then I thought to myself, maybe a career change isn't for me. But now looking forward, and now that I actually have this career change, I can look back and recognize that it was for me. But the opportunities I was applying for wasn't. That's why it never worked out. But again, I had to keep pushing in order for me to see that. Okay, now the last point that I want to get to, which is super important. A lot of the times, opportunities pass you by because you fail to innovate. Innovation is very important. In any business that fails to innovate and change with the time, let's use some prime examples. BlackBerry. Who has a BlackBerry today? Leave in the comments. I'm sure I'm gonna get cobwebs because no one has a BlackBerry today, unless, no one has a BlackBerry. Again, who has a Nokia phone today in 2021? Nobody has one. Nobody. in the Western world has a Nokia phone in 2021. And all these brands, they failed to innovate. So now you have Samsung coming through. Most people either have an Android device or they have an Apple device. So this is why it's important as a person, as a business, that you ensure that you are innovating. If you stop innovating, the way that I see innovation is about growth. Innovation is about keeping yourself connected to what the needs of other people are, to what the needs of society are. If you have a business, you want to ensure that your business is serving your target audience. Your business is serving a market of people. Your business cannot be sustained if it's serving no one. Who is going to utilize your products or service? Again, you're not going to have a profitable business. And again, it's the same with you as a person. You want to make sure you're innovating. Perhaps there's opportunities that you've wanted for a long time. You've wanted that pay rise. You've wanted that new job. You've wanted to start at something specific, but you've not done it because you're not innovating. Maybe you've tried, you've been applying for certain jobs and you just keep getting rejected, perhaps because you've not been innovating. You have to understand, in some fields of life, it's very competitive. So you want to ensure, like I said, you're putting your best foot forward. So some ways you can innovate: investing in your skills, upskilling yourself, learning about things you don't know, working on those skills that you find that you struggle with. Let's say you work in the digital field, then you want to look for courses that are going to optimize your CV, courses that are going to make you more presentable, make you more useful to companies that you want to apply to. So like I said, it's all about innovating. And sometimes opportunities that were for you will pass you by because you're just there. You're stuck in the same position. You're not growing. You're not, working on investing in your personal development. And when you stop investing in your personal development, you get left behind. And again, you do not fulfill your potential. We all have potential. We all have gifts and talents that we have inside of us. But if you leave those things dormant by not investing in those skills, you're going to lose it. It's just not used. Like they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. And it's the same with your personal development. So you have to ensure that you are investing in yourself. And I'm going to say that again. You have to ensure that you are investing in yourself. Sometimes you invest in buying nice clothes, going on nice holidays, but you do not invest in your personal development. Invest in your brain. It will not fail you. I know a lot of the times we say that knowledge is power, but it's a lie. Because you can have knowledge, and if you don't use that knowledge, it's not going to help you. Applied knowledge is power, not knowledge. Because you can have knowledge, once again, but if you do not use that knowledge, it's not going to serve you. It's not going to make your life better in any way, shape, or form. So remember, applied knowledge is power. So whatever you're investing in learning, whatever skills you have, make sure you're applying them to your life. Maybe you have the knowledge of how to manage your finances, but again, that knowledge is stuck in a little bag that you don't use. So make sure, guys, that you are applying the knowledge you have. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with the saying that what is meant for you will not pass you by? Or do you agree with the things that I just said? If you liked this video, guys, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. It really helps me to keep pushing, and also lets me know that you guys are actually liking the videos I'm putting out there. So if you're not already subscribed, if you watched all the way to the end and you still haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll be back with you very soon. Have a great day. Keep it locked. Follow me on social media. Keep in contact. I would love to get to know you guys better. And also, if you have any ideas of videos you want me to cover, then let me know.